Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times to discuss books and horror. And today I bring you my TBR pile for the month of February.
It's coffee time!
So February is a short month, so this TBR pile might be a little bit ambitious, but you know what? Let's try. Trying is, enough. So I have put a small list of books that I would like to read during the month of February. That doesn't include things that I am reading for themed vlogs and things that I am doing currently in the background, but I have put a list of books that I think are books that I'm gonna enjoy, hopefully, in the month of February. And I'm here to tell you which ones those are. Let's start with the YA horror thriller that I will be reading together with my Patreons in the month of February. We have chosen to read This Wretched Valley by Jenny Kiefer, and this is one that I was really interested in reading anyways, and it came out in January, so it's also a new release. Four ambitious climbers are going to the Kentucky wilderness and somehow something happens to them, and 7 months later three mangled bodies are discovered, but they don't know if their deaths were an accident or if something else happened to them. Also three bodies, which means one of them is still potentially alive. This is a survival horror story that follows this group of four people that are really interested in climbing these Kentucky. It's like a new phase of a rock that has never been climbed before, so of course they are extremely excited. But sometimes, there's places that have never been touched or discovered for a reason. So 7 months later, three bodies are discovered in the trees next to the highway, and they are in different levels of decomposition, and I think one body is missing like fingers and stuff and ears, and it's really weird. Don't know exactly what happened, and Dylan, number 4, is missing. So the mystery that we have to solve is what happened to these 4 people, why are 3 dead, how did they die, where is Dylan, what happened. So I'm really intrigued about this one, and I do love survival horror. I think it puts characters in very interesting positions where they have to make certain choices, and I'm really excited to read these, and I'm so happy that this was the choice for our first read together over at my Patreon. So if you want to read it with us, you still have time. You can sign to my Patreon and join the book club. You would have to be a demon in order to participate in the evil book club, but every month we will be reading a book together. Moving on to Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is the second book in the series of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Holly Jackson has become a new favorite for me. After reading 5 Survive and really enjoying it, I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder in January and absolutely loved it. I actually picked it as my first read of 2024 because I kind of knew that it was a book that I was gonna really love, and I did. So it was a great start into the reading year, so it was a good choice. There's nothing worse than starting the year with a book that's very disappointing or a book that you had to DNF. So I'm really pleased with that choice. And so I decided I'm not gonna wait longer, to continue with the series. I'm gonna try to read book 2 and then book 3 and then the novella so that I can read all of it in one go. So this one follows the events of the first book, so I'm not gonna spoil anything, but in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, we follow Peeb. She lives in a small town where someone has been accused of a crime, of a murder, and she wants to figure out if that person actually did it or not. So she chooses that topic for one of her works for school. And she does investigations, she does interviews, and she goes places where she probably shouldn't be going alone by herself. And it's a mixed media book because you get the entries in her diary or in the interviews, and it's so much fun to try to figure out what actually happened. The mystery is fantastic, and it's one of those books that you cannot put down. Like, it consumes you. So I loved it. 10 out of 10 would recommend. So I'm really excited to be picking up book 2 in the month of February. Next, I'm finally gonna be reading Fresh Hell by Cameron Chaney, and this is the first book on a new series by him that is gonna be Autumn Crown High. I've been expecting this for so long, and when it came out I bought it immediately, but I still haven't got the time to read it, and I'm very sad about it. So it is time. I'm not waiting any longer. I need to read this book because it has all the good 90s nostalgia and all the horror, and I need it in my life. We are 1994 and Bailey has gruesome nightmares, like very bloody nightmares, and at some point she realizes that things from her nightmares are actually coming true. So she doesn't know if when she gets these nightmares if she should warn people or not. She also doesn't know if these dreams, you know, there are premonitions, if they're all gonna come true or not. I don't know, I'm really excited for this one. I know that it has a lot of nostalgia, as I said, from the 90s and horror. And I mean, look at this cover, it's so cute. And I have enjoyed the other things I have read by Cameron Chaney, his stories in the horror booktubers anthologies, as well as Autumn Crow. So yeah, really excited for this. Then I'm gonna be reading Europa Halls by Alan Shivers, and this is a YA slasher, and this is an author that is based in Belgium, which is very close to me. And so this is supposed to be the beginning of a trilogy, of a slasher trilogy, so I'm really excited for this one, not gonna lie. Europa Halls is a place where only very selected people are chosen to join the dorms, and this is somewhere located in Brussels. And all is good until some of the students are being chased by a serial killer. So we have 6 friends in this school that are being targeted by a serial killer, and the body count, you know, keeps going up, which is something that we love in slashers. So I'm really excited for this one, not gonna lie. And it is the indie pick for Sharon's book club. They are reading an indie author every month, and I'm trying to join. I did join in January and I really enjoyed the book, so I am eager to join again in February, especially because this is a slasher, and as Sharon always says, slashers are perfect for February because Valentine and slashers just go hand in hand. Who Hunts You by Mark Wheaton, and this is another YA book, but this is a paranormal one, and this one has representation. It has autism representation, so I'm really intrigued to read this one. So Rebecca is trying to make it to graduation, but then her senior friends start to die one by one, and she realizes that maybe all of the deaths are actually connected because they all claimed to have been visited by a dead relative before they died. So she's gonna have to figure out what is going on. Apparently what happens is that someone from your past comes and visits you, a dead relative of sorts, and after that you're kind of like cursed and you're just destined to die. So will they be able to stop it on time? And because I'm reading so many YA books in the month of February, and honestly I'm not complaining, but I wanted to add also more adult books, I'm gonna be reading a short horror story compilation that actually doesn't come out until May 2024, but I got a copy for review on my Kindle, and I am really eager to read this one. It is called Mother Knows Best, Tales of Homemade Horror, and it is edited by Lindy Ryan. And I think this is a compilation of poetry and short stories about females, about mothers, and everything that comes with that. It's supposed to be inspired, I think, by bad mothers and mothers in horror in general, which is something that, you know, has been done many times, you know, that evil moms or evil stepmothers. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this one, and I will be really intrigued especially about the poetry ones because I don't read as much poetry, so this might be an interesting read, you know, a couple of stories here and there that I can read throughout the month. And because, like I said, I am gonna be reading a lot of YA during the month of February, and I wanted to compensate a little bit, but I also didn't want to make my life hard and pick up a really chunky book. I decided to pick up Horrstor by Grady Hendrix because this has a different format, and it's a book that I have been really intrigued about. I have read almost all of Grady Hendrix books, but not this one. And I know many people love it. I'm a really bit scared because I don't know if this type of humor and setting is gonna work for me, but basically we are in a store that is basically like Ikea, but of course we have to change the name because, you know, rights and stuff. And every morning the workers go into the store and they realize that things have been moved places, some things are broken, so they think something's going on at night. So 3 of the workers, they decide to volunteer to spend the night at the store and see what is actually causing all of this chaos. Is the place haunted? So this is supposed to be like a very interesting take on a haunted house story. I don't know what to expect. Grady Hendrix is kind of hit or miss for me. Like there's a lot of things I love about his stories and other things that don't quite work for me. So I am extremely intrigued to see what I'm gonna think about this one. But yeah, I thought it was a good pick for an adult horror that maybe some bit more kind of like, not really interactive, but you know what I mean, like the pages are kind of like bigger font, and it's a little bit more like, I think it has like pieces of like Ikea furniture looking things like this, you know, so it might be a little bit more fun to read. But we shall see. I will report back. So that is everything that I'm planning to read in the month of February, together with the things that I am reading secretly behind the scenes for some vlogs. But I might try to squeeze in the YA book club pick. We will see. It has not been decided yet, so I don't know which one they have picked yet. But if they pick one that I already own or one that I really want to read, I think I might try to squeeze it in as well. So wish me luck, because February is a short month. Let me know down below what you are planning to read in the month of February. Yeah, so hopefully you guys have a great reading month in February. I am gonna try my best. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all, as always, in our next coffee time. Bye!